Thank you so much, Coach. I know, guys, we are a little bit pressed for time today, but you know, we want to thank Coach for coming on the set with us today to really give us some information on it. Coach, are you set already for the coming season? How are you shaping up
Yes,
for the coming
yes.
season, Coach?
So that's starting next. We start on the 16th. We have testing on the 15th, and we do double sessions from 9 to 11, and then 3 to 5, and then on the Saturday, on the Sunday, we're playing Princeton University at Princeton. We're lucky enough to have coaches that that we can play against good teams like that, and we're also playing against a powerhouse Division II program, Adelphi University,
Yes.
on the same day. A week later, we play Westchester. So we give ourselves another 6 days to prepare. And then the week after that, we play 2 teams from the top 10 in our region. So they're non-conference games, but one of the games, both games, we were beaten by teams that were ranked, in the top 10 nationally. So, it's always good. I'm not a big component of preseason. The non-conference games, I wasn't familiar, the concept, but there's all these points if you beat them. And so I leave that to my assistant coach. My main concern is making sure we win the last game of the year, because that gets us into the NCAA.
Okay, Coach, what advice would you have for because we're on different platforms and we have different people watching on different platforms of different parts of the world. What is some of the advice would you want to give future student athletes in terms of their preparedness, their readiness to enter into the collegiate soccer? Because some of the kids have this thinking it's just soccer, and not realizing that they are student athletes.
Yeah,
And the student come before the athlete, Coach. How would you be able to relate that to them so they can have a better understanding of it?
Well, it's simply the difference between, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12. If you prepare yourself over 4 years and don't rely on the last year, that's the benefit. But if you only have one component, but if you're preparing yourself for the 4 years and you give yourself every single opportunity to be the best you can be each year, that could translate into a lot of academic dollars. And when you're in grade 9, you don't think that. You think, let me go and play. I did the same thing. But if your pathway is to come to collegiate, make sure your grades are good. Make sure you find people that can help you with your study, with your SATs, and use those tools that are given to you to take advantage of getting academic money, because it would help yourself, help your families. At the same time, investigate the schools that may interest you, actually looking at their games, working out where can I see them play, finding out what does the school have to offer, contacting the coach and asking the coach questions that will give you more clarity in how you go around in your process of finding a school for yourself. But most coaches are very busy, but most will absolutely get back to the student athlete. But the most important thing is that if we can get a student athlete in that has got good grades and is a good player, and then you've got an athlete that hasn't got good grades and is a good player, so they're both good, well, you know who we're going to go for, unless you're playing for the national team and you are the best player in the under 20 national team, or and of course there's different levels. The best player on the under 20 national team is not coming to Jefferson from the USA. She's going to UCLA or North Carolina all the time. You know what I mean? So there's different levels of being the best. But yeah, just really focus on your study and really focus on the school that you feel that you can be, because in the end, you've got to ask yourself, if I get injured and I can't play, do I like this campus enough to be able to move around? And you can see all this in virtual, you can have virtual tours. I think that's important as well. But, and really quickly, understand as you get into puberty, 15, 16, start working out with weights, get an expert in the field of exercise science and start developing some core strength and just understanding the football specific training is different to running the 100-meter sprint and training like Usain Bolt, for instance, but training to be like Messi is completely different type of training, So, yeah, someone says show interaction.
Someone is asking you, the clinic and small-sided games show interaction of players. How do you assist a player that seems not to be bonding with your team? How would you approach a player who's not bonding, with your team?
I put him in a group where the girls don't stop talking. Yeah, that always works. That's very important. When you look at a clinic, there's always a kid who's just really quiet, really shy, But if that wasn't the case, then it's constantly giving the player information, because without information, a player doesn't know where they stand. They see a coach just watching, and when you can tell players that have got unwavering confidence, nothing fears them, and then you have others that are fearful if they make a mistake. What are people going to think of me? Coaches don't think like that. Coaches shouldn't be thinking like that. But for us, it's about interaction of various types of games where kids have to talk. So we do the passing game. One has to play to two. So before one passes the two has to call number one's name. So, and then two has to pass the ball to three has to call number two's name, and vice versa. So now we create dialogue, and then we add conditions where now they got to say specific conditions like give and go. Instead of the action, now it's got to be a verbal. So we create activities where we can give, to bring out those outcomes.
Thank you so kindly, Coach. Any last words you want to leave us with today, Coach? And I would sure like to invite you back again when the season is over, that we could go over your season and some of the wonderful things that you have. And I would be very, very happy to share your information with the kids, because I know you have a top program where you are.
If you like, we can do it in a couple of weeks before we play Princeton, and I can give you a rundown of how our week was, and if there were any other people, and we can go a little bit longer.
Wonderful. I also talk with Quinn. I know Quinn is part of your system.
Yes, we can have her on as well.
Beautiful. I had a chat with Quinn. I think she's logged on right now, and I think she's going to be our next guest to chat with us too about her. She's a fantastic person, because she was in the camp with us. So she's a fantastic person, very energetic, loving, kind person. She's there.
Story. Beautiful story to be told, and
yes,
and still not finished.
Still not finished. Coach, thank you so much again for joining us, and we wish you all the best in your season, and we want to bring you back again so you can chat with us again, Coach. Yes?
Yes, absolutely.
Have a wonderful day. Guys, thank you so much for joining us, guys, and you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for your patience.